the slavery of work, and the spectacle of society throughout history. First of all, we must specify that we are not criticizing activity, nor the fact of producing, and even less creation. What we are aiming at is the massive installation at the center of existence, all over the planet, of forced and coerced labor. The vast majority of the world's population spends most of its time doing this. Moreover, it is for the immense majority repetitive, poor, and external tasks. This implies for everyone and for the whole of humanity an incredible loss of creativity, an unimaginable drying up of talents, a very unhappy life. The world of merchandise is there to compensate for this abysmal misery. Others create for you, others have talents in your place, and others live exciting lives. In appearance, and what counts is precisely to maintain the circular need to consume appearances. Every single commodity is worth more than the amount of appearance it gives off. So how did we get here? It all began in the Neolithic period, between 10,000 and 5,000 years before our era, when profitability became the guide for activities. It is it which orders to establish hierarchies and fixities of the social statutes. Art, as a separate compensatory activity, begins to appear, whose prestige imposes it to all, and whose symbolic force cements the society, while this one divides in itself, and separates itself from the nature, which is also divides. It is already the spectacle that makes the society, even if we are still very far from the society of the spectacle. On the other hand, we are now very close to slavery, which is indeed particularly profitable. A few thousand years of perfecting, even more than techniques, this advantageous social division, and we find ourselves in this ancient Greek where work understood as servile and separate production condemns humans to be only the animated objects of their masters. What is worthy, therefore, of true humans is to cultivate themselves, but of a culture already separated from nature and from other species, separated from their own production, separated from the human totality, separated from everything. It is at this moment that the representation that is artistic, spiritual, or philosophical takes its rise in a world apart, where the unity of life cannot be restored anymore, but only contemplated. It was not until the 20th century that forced labor, on which human society is built, began to be clearly evoked for what it is, a fundamentally dehumanizing activity. It must be said that Marx had been there a little earlier, analyzing precisely in his manuscripts the strangeness in which the life of the workers is asphyxiated, a strangeness known under the name of alienation. A name to be taken in all senses of the word. Work operates a division from self to self, from body to body, from body to hand, from body to head, from head to heart. So radical that it drives one mad. Fortunately, to support this threatening insanity, there is commodity fetishism, this shimmering straitjacket that paralyzes the movement of life, while simultaneously giving the illusion of living it. Besides Marx, it is always interesting to read or reread what Nietzsche, Lafargue, Roussel, Vaneigem, and many others have written on the subject. The culmination of all these criticisms and the catastrophic planetary result of this alienation of human activity is the same. It is indeed the totality of life on earth that calls for a radical transformation. It will be this or our end.